even there are some takes on Jesus Christ where they talk about the blood of Christ, how that could be vampiric, and what if Jesus was a vampire? So there's a lot of things. An interesting one is the Egyptian take on vampirism. I have here the Essetian Bible. I'm not saying I agree with all the ideas positioned in this take to vampires, but it kind of describes the whole Egyptian vampire mythology under the goddess, I think Aset or Isis also, and how she is kind of like the mother of vampires. And some of the Egyptian gods are representative of that energy, and then that she gave birth to, a lineage of in the what you would call like humanoid vampires, or vampires that walk the earth, or even dark magicians with vampiric abilities. It's all fascinating stuff, and I like to read this sort of things, but I also like to look forward to. I don't want to just be a library of past things, but I encourage everyone to read into these sort of mythologies, and they can like shape your understanding further than just like Dracula or Twilight and all those other kind of pop culture vampires, and see a much deeper truth.
And what's your truth about this whole vampire thing, and what do you actually believe in? What are you following on how to be a vampire is our topic?
Yes.
And what are these steps on how to be a vampire? And I think also the most important question is why to be a vampire
I agree.
Is relevant.
I don't feel like not enough people ask that question. They're like, yeah, I want to be one, but it's like, why? what are you trying to get out of this?
Yeah.
So that's a loaded question. I'd say I try to keep things simple. I am a utilitarianist at heart. I'm an anthropologist in a way. So I kind of like to pull from the culture what works, what does it value. And the core connecting theme of vampirism is maximizing one's own energy. And so you'll see that in a lot of like what you would call darker occult paths, where they talk about the power of self-individualization, self-mastery, becoming your own god, that sort of thing. So when you look in the spiritual side of vampirism, when you talk about energy work, you get a lot of that. It's the idea that there's energy in the universe, there's energy in yourself, energy in all things. And as a practitioner, as a vampire, as a dark practitioner, whatever you want to call it, one of the tools at your disposal is to draw energy, to raise energy, raise the vibrations, and gather that energy within yourself, and bind it to your will, and then direct it towards positive or constructive things in the world. So if you look at the idea of, a mother and a child are riding an airplane. The airplane starts to go down. They don't tell you to put the air mask on your child first. They tell you to wear the air mask yourself, so that you have your own power, you are safe, and then you can help other people. That's the idea of what we will call the path of self-mastery. That's the idea that should be behind vampirism, where you empower yourself so you can then create change in the world. Hopefully constructive, positive change, but we're not very moralistic, so. And then on to how people can become a vampire, or what's the steps. It's one's own decision. I don't like to preach too much and try to control people's own discovery. I like to offer them information, and if they want to use that information, then they're free to use it. So I would say to anyone who has an interest in vampires or wants to potentially, or feels that they are one, is to explore more. On my links on my YouTube channel, you'll see some resources, a video instructing you on some basic resources that you can use to start that journey, through books, through a lot of them are free online resources, and a lot of experimentation for yourself, and just seeing if it works for you, if it's of value. And so that gets to why would someone even do this? Why would you wear contacts? Why would you wear the fangs? Why would you do any of this, or go through all the trouble when some people we'll think it's a